course I have to sign in. Almost there, I promise. Oop. Alright, I want to go here. Okay. Hi Dawn, can you hear me okay? I am doing my homework fast. Please let me know if you can hear me. You can hear me? Okay, perfect. I forgot to fuse all my interfacings on to my exterior pieces, so this is me doing that quickly. You'd think I was on sort of mini vacation mode. I am, that's for sure. Side down. I'm impressed with your Daryl's drive, Dawn. You got that done fast. Did my tutorial help you? See a couple more people popping in there. Don't mind me. I'm just doing my homework super fast here. Hi Lexi, how are you? Don't mind me. I'm just fusing all my stuff on my exterior pieces really fast. Hot, hot, hot. Looks like just the 3 of us so far. 2 of those people are me. And Dawn, would you make another one? Did you like it? Say this now, the winner of VIP of the month, I completely forgot to do that draw, so I didn't do it live. But it's Braylyn. Braylyn, I know you watch the replays of these. You don't, I know you work during the classes, so if you see this, shoot me a message because you get your choice of a $25 gift certificate. So send me a message, Braylon. We aren't friends on Facebook, so I don't know if she got my message or not. Whew, it's warm over here. Almost done. Hi, Kim. How are you? I'm just quickly doing my homework. Dawn, I'm not sure how you can do less bulk in those corners unless you do all cottons or all vinyls or all cottons and no vinyls. Did you use wax canvas, Dawn? Hi, Diane. How are you? Oh, Diane, you're here early. Welcome. I'm just quickly doing my homework because I was slacking off. I'm almost ready, though. I am doing good. I'm on sort of mini vacation. I guess mini vacation from tutorials. I just finished my last tutorial for 2 weeks. And it launches tonight at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. It's actually a relaunch of a pattern for something I can't tell you guys about, but you'll see it in my tutorial that launches at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Dawn, try doing it with cotton. You'll find it's not as bad. It's still thick, but the waterproof canvas would definitely have made that super thick there. Okay, I think that's all that was for homework. I think I'm done. Alrighty, somewhat organized. Let me grab my attendance book here. Yay! Oh, you didn't have to work today. Yay! I'll put that over there so I can see that. Alright, Daryl's drive day. So yeah, I'm still working on customer orders and that kind of thing, and some personal projects, but I'm taking a 2-week break off of tutorials because I have been going so non-stop since I was sick at the end of July. Like, I think I probably got almost 20 tutorials out, which is just madness. Hi, Annie. I'm not sure, Dawn. Good try. I honestly think that the bulkiness at the top also helps give it that shape, so I'm not sure. Something to play with for sure. Okay, so we got Lexi, Kim, Diane. Ooh, I'm warm now. Annie. How was everybody's week? Coco's saying hi to everybody. Excuse the mess that is my studio once again. You know how I roll. Crazy. I am, over my less busy weeks, going to actually clean my studio. You would think that I had lived in here for months and months with how messy it is. I mean, look, it's a disaster. Oh, Annie, make sure you post your choices in the Facebook group. I'd love to see what you're using. 1, 2, 3, 4. Who else do we have in there? I see 8 watching. 2 of those are me, so there's 11 watching now. Kim Dawn is talking about the Daryl's Drive. She finished hers. She moves to the head of the class. Dawn's a keener. Ooh, supernatural. Nothing better than some Jensen Ackles or Dean fabric. I love supernatural. Jensen Ackles is my boyfriend. I love him. I've been watching him since his Days of Our Lives days. We've grown up together. I actually got to meet him via FaceTime. My friend Angie's husband was an extra on the set of Supernatural in Vancouver, and one day she was on set, and she was FaceTiming with me, and I got to see Jared and Jensen, which was a real surreal moment for me. I was a blubbering, talking mess. It was terrible. Yeah, Dawn's never an overachiever, right? So today we're going to be working on the exterior of the bag. So it should go pretty good. It's actually not a super hard bag. A lot of thickness in some areas, so mainly at the end. That's what Dawn is talking about there. Well, my mother's messaging me. Let me just remind her that I'm in class. Otherwise, she will start phoning me worried because I'm not answering her. Do you have shirtless pictures of them on the fabric? It's going to be a great bag. Oh my. My mom says hi, everybody. So we'll just give it a little bit, another 5 minutes or so to get a couple more people in there. So far I have Annie, Dawn, Lexi, Diane, and Kim. Am I missing anybody? Kim, I'm not gonna lie, I have not interfaced my lining pieces at all. I just interfaced my exterior pieces, to be honest. I'm working on that Violet Craft English paper piece line that I'm doing for my sister-in-law for Christmas. It'll be a throw pillow. That's where you see these pillows down there. One is for my sister-in-law, one is for my mom, and I'm doing actually no, the one I'm doing right now, the line is for my mom, and then the I'm doing the rooster for my sister-in-law. So the next 2 weeks, all I have to concentrate on are the classes, which is great. Actually getting my homework done on time. And I have 2 wallets to make for client orders, and that's it. So after going 7 days a week, 14-hour days since the end of July, I'm taking a little bit of a lighter load for the next couple weeks, taking a break from all the tutorials I've been doing. There is one releasing tonight, though. There'll still be one a week happening, but I think I'm just going to relax. I've been tired. I've been working so hard. And the classes are the most important. So yeah. So I haven't been doing lives. I've just been way too exhausted to do the lives. So after my 2 week of rest of just doing classes with you guys, which I find fun, and those 2 client orders, then I will come back and do a live. So once again, for the VIP of the month for August, I forgot to do it live. So I just went ahead and did it. And Braylon, you have won the VIP of the month. So I know that you work during the time that we have classes and you catch them on the replay. So please, when you do see this, make sure you shoot me an email or get me on Facebook, and I will get you your $25 gift card of choice. There was no homework class today because all that homework was interfacing the exterior pieces with the fleece and the deckable heavy, which it took me like 5 minutes to do, like just before class started. Hi, Brandy's mom. My mom's name is Patty. She can't see this, of course, but she's still messaging me. Man, oh man, my mother. I love her. Yeah. Class is not work. It isn't. It's sewing with you guys. It's fun. I'm not by myself. Tutorials are a lot of work, where it takes me about 6 hours to make a bag from cut to finish. A tutorial takes me 3 days after taking 6 hours and trying to get it in under an hour to make it a very fluid video, and the editing and all that stuff just to make it good. Because I don't want to do, I mean, like my original videos I would do for the whole bag, and they'd be like 4 to 6 hours, and that's just way too much. So I do take a lot of pride in when I do the tutorials, trying to improve on them all the time. So but yeah, I've just been doing too many. Wallet Week did me in, as I did a tutorial a day for that whole week, on top of the class tutorials and on top of the launch tutorials that I committed to. So I just burnt myself out. So as of October, I'm going back to the class tutorials, one tutorial a week, and then I do have one custom order a week scheduled every week in October for until the end of March, and then after that I'm only going to be doing custom orders by request because I just don't have the time to do them anymore. Aw, Kim, I'll share my mom with you. She's awesome. All right. So it's again, I have Annie, Lexi, Diane, and Kim, and Dawn. Am I missing anybody else? Lots of people haven't come on. Frankie said that she will pop in and out. Coco is present. Maybe we'll just give it till quarter after and then we will get going. What is she barking at? I don't know. That crazy hound dog. Yay. So who is sewing along with me today and who is watching? You get your custom orders done in a week. Kim, so I took July and August off of custom orders. Prior to that, I was taking 5 custom orders a week. That's a lot, but that's what I was doing before I had my channel and everything like that. So right up till June, I had 5 custom orders a week on top of the classes and on top of my tutorials. Then I took July and August off of doing my customs for a little bit of breather, and then starting in September, I scheduled only 1 a week until March. I'm usually booked 6 months out for customs. I had been booked 6 months out for customs at 5 a week, which was crazy, and I was just burning myself right out. So, and a lot of that comes from my marketing. I find if I don't do any marketing, I don't get those custom orders coming in. So, I will advertise when I want to have some more or whatever, but yeah, need a little bit of a break, and the classes and the channel have kind of shifted my focus. So from all the bags that I make for the tutorials, I counted, I've made 122 bags since January, and I only have 22 bags here. So of the bags that I have made during tutorials and that kind of thing, 22 left is all that I have. So that's pretty darn amazing. And then those will be the bags I take to market to try to sell. But yeah, I was just keeping a crazy schedule, and these classes are actually a godsend for me because I can slow down a little bit and actually do the parts that I enjoy. Yeah, I enjoy making the bags, but sometimes when you're doing custom orders, you're like, why are we choosing those materials? You know, you love making some, and others you're like, oh man, this one's going to be ugly, but as long as the client loves it, it is okay, right? Yeah, but yeah, that's what I was doing when I was doing the bags full time, was 5 a week. So I'd have to get one done every day, but I'd usually end up working 6 days a week. So it was an impossible schedule because, yeah, I'd do the 5 bags a week, and then on my weekends I'd be doing tutorials, and then I'd be doing the classes in the evenings. So time to take back some time for myself, that's for sure. All right. Okay, so I have, who did we see? Dawn is admitting for me. Thank you, Dawn. Got to keep this rowdy crowd under control. Kim is sewing. Diane, are you sewing with us today? I know you usually sew along too. I am going to go and grab my Daryl's drive so I have it to show parts of it. Hi, Benny. Okay. Oh, these bags are all from this week. Like, it's just crazy. All right. Let me just get situated here. Okay, so we may as well just follow the pattern. Again, the straps, okay, so I got Diane and Kim sewing with me, so make sure you keep me on track. If I'm moving too fast, please let me know. I am doing the straps different than what's in the pattern. She does hers in kind of a loop. I'm just doing them as per my usual way. Oops, like so. But that's homework for last class. We don't need to worry about those unless you're doing them as per the pattern. Okay. Are we ready to go? I haven't even tested to make sure my cameras are working. One sec here. Split table. We're good. Okay. Move some of this out of the way. That's distracting there. Is this bright enough? Do I need the light on, or is that good enough? Oh my goodness, Coco's just gonna lose herself. I am expecting a parcel, so put this down here. All right. So the first thing we are going to do is start with our top bands. So for homework, it was to put deckable heavy centered on the back of 2 of them, and then the other 2 just as is. You love how I do the connectors on this? The connectors actually are in the pattern. I can't take credit for those connectors, but I don't do the loopy, I do the handles different than she does. Okay. So, who's doing a turn lock? Is anybody doing a turn lock, or is everybody just doing magnetic snaps? Hi, Nicole. Hi, Maddie. I'll see you on Friday. Is Maddie still painting that roof, Nicole? So everybody knows Nicole and I are real life friends. Actually, we're all real life friends, but Nicole and I actually have met in person. Actually going to have lunch with her on Friday. All right. All right, so what it is saying here is on a domestic machine. I'm just looking at, because there's a little bit of confusion in the pattern here, is the way she fused on her Peltex here. She didn't have fusible Peltex. So they put Peltex on and then took a piece of woven interfacing and put it over top of that and ironed it to hold it in place. If you've done that, if you weren't using fusible, that's where she says to trim away some of that woven interfacing if you're on a domestic. So that's why these pictures look a little odd. That's just her trimmed out interfacing, but I don't think any of us are doing that, so we should be okay. Okay, so what we want to do, I want to make sure I get this right. Okay, so we're going to work with the first one first. Maddie is YouTube famous. He is. I should have him playing the guitar in behind me as our background music. That would be awesome to have my own personal musician in the background. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to find the centers of all of the top panels actually. So go ahead and snip all of your centers. Okay, Annie, you're doing a turn lock, and Lexi, okay, I'll explain where those are going to be placed. I am not doing one, but I will explain where we will be placing it. I'm going to have to grab my nameplate too. So you may as well do all 4 centers on all 4 of these. So just folding them in half and finding my centers. Those are my 2 with the Peltex. Hi, Ophelia. Oh, yes. I will be taking next Wednesday off for sure. I think it may be becoming a national holiday here. Probably Queen Elizabeth Day or something like that. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to grab just one of them, and we are going to work on the placement of our, I just got to double check which ones we're doing. Okay. We are going to be doing the placement of our female magnetic snaps. We are also going to do the placement of the male turn lock if you're doing that. So let me just grab my magnet here so I can keep everything where it needs to be. So what I'm going to do first, come on, is grab out my 2 females magnetic snaps. This interfacing I use Decaville Heavy. You can use Peltex as well, or 2 layers of Decaville Light, or 2 layers of EB Fuse Light, or EB Fuse Heavy if you wanted to. But this is Decaville Heavy, yes. Okay, come on, come off. I am missing a... I'm going to have to find a washer for the second one here, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm going to explain the turn lock first. So we already marked those centers down the center. So if you're using the turn lock, you're going to want to go ahead and just draw that center line down. Okay. And then it says for the male part of the twist lock, you would measure down 1.5 inches and make a mark. And right at that mark is where you would install your male part of your twist lock. I am skipping that part, but that is how you would know where to put it. You'd be putting it right there. Okay? Now for the female magnetic snaps, we're going to measure 1.5 inches down and 1 5/8 in from the top. So I'm actually going to mark top here, so I know this is my top. 1.5 inches down, 1 5/8 in. Let me just double check. Yep. And make a mark right there. Do the same on the other side. From the top, 1.5 inches down and 1 5/8 in. Oops. This is very important placement because we do want our magnetic snaps to line up when we close the bag. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and install those right now. So if you've never installed a magnetic snap before, once you have those dots on the wrong side, I just take the washer like so, and I draw my lines where my prong holes are going to go, like so. Same with on the other side. Again, we're doing the female side of the snap, and the female side of the snap is the non-nubby side. Go ahead and cut your slits. Being careful not to cut your hand. Ask me how I know. Okay, flip it over and install those snaps. Come here. Oh my gosh, I can't pick it up. There we go. And put the washer on. I'm not putting a piece of Decaville Heavy underneath it because there's already Decaville Heavy here. I just like to use the end of my table to smash down my prongs. And then I take my mallet and just give it a little extra smash. Now in hers, she actually uses spring snaps. I'm just using magnetic snaps. So that's 2 done. And then, where are you? There you are. I always take a little bit of duct tape or Gorilla Tape just to put over top of those prongs, and what that does is hopefully makes it so the prongs don't rub too much against the back side or the other side of the top here. Oh, come on. I need scissors. Magnetic snaps work wonderfully, and they're so much easier to install. Okay, so that is the back. So if you had the turn lock here, you'd have your 2 female magnetic snaps, and right in the middle here, you would have the male part of your turn lock. That's the one that has a little turny thing on it. So now we're going to do the exact same thing with our front one. I think that's where she moves us on to here. Let's each remaining top and right sides together. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and do the same marks. So I'm going to mark again on top here. Now on, oh, I'm not going to mark it just yet. So 1.5 inches down, 1 5/8 in. Am I cut funny? Okay, we'll make a mark. 1.5 down. Whew, I'm suddenly very warm. Man, oh man. And I'm actually just going to lay these together just to make sure that they match up. Just kind of eyeball it. Make sure that those dots are going to match up with those snaps, and mine do. So go ahead and install your male side of the snaps. I'm going to have to go hunting for another washer. Will this one work? I think this one's too small. Yeah, I'm going to have to hunt for another washer because I lost one somewhere. Do I have any large washers, or am I going to have to go and steal it from somewhere else? Lots of small washers. Okay, I'm just going to go steal another washer from another magnetic snap. I'll be right back. Go ahead and install those, and then I'll show you where I'm going to install my nameplate. Magnetic snaps, where are you? I know there's some in here somewhere. Gonna have to ask Janelle from Emmeline to send me some more washers because I keep losing them. She's pretty good to me and will send them to me, so I keep stealing them from other magnetic snaps. Okay. My chair's stuck. Any questions about installing magnetic snaps? Move this up so you can actually see what I'm doing here. That's helpful. I don't know if the mallet helps, but my brain it does. I've been freezing all day and I'm suddenly just so warm. Oh my goodness. And my tape, where'd you go? Here it is. Use a mallet too. Well, I have carpal tunnel and sometimes I'm scared I don't push them in hard enough. Okay, so I'm going to match up those centers. Whoops. Where's my two tops? And make sure that those snap in well. And they're centered, and they do. Woohoo, I was successful. Hi Frankie, how are you? Working hard on those many orders. Okay. So I'm going to go and grab my nameplate and show you where I'm going to install mine. You can install yours wherever you like. Nameplates. All these bags are all my different colors of nameplates back here. Okay. So that's those two done. So those are our inside ones, I guess, where our magnetic snaps are. Now next, before we put these together, I want to install my nameplate. You will not install your nameplate here if you're doing a turn lock, because where I am going to be putting my nameplate is where you will be installing the female side of your turn lock. But I am not doing a turn lock because I want my nameplate to be front and center there. Whoops, just like on this bag here. So I am going to draw my center line and install my nameplate while we wait. Everybody let me know when you're all done with your magnetic snaps. So centered, and I am going to go down 1.5 inches, which is center. And I'm going to install my nameplate right above that line. Yeah. Just measure how far down I had this one. Just measuring 3/4. 3/4. 1. Yeah, it should be okay. So my nameplates, I usually just eyeball where I put them. So up here is obviously going to be my top, so I'm just going to write that here, top. Ooh, writing upside down. Where did it go? There it is. So one thing I'm going to do here, because I'm going to wash all that away now because it's hard to get that off after you've installed it. So I've done my little slit, so I'm just going to wash that off a little bit. And I'm going to grab a scrap of foam, if I have one in here. I have to go hunt for one. 1 second. Foam, foam, foam. There's some. Now the reason I'm doing foam behind my nameplate is because otherwise, because this is uninterfaced here, you could go ahead and put a piece of deckable heavy behind if you wanted it to. But I actually kind of like when I do a little piece of foam. You can kind of see, you can see the outline of the phone here, but I just think it just gives my nameplate a little more security when it's just on a vinyl thing like that, and I think it looks nice. The thing is, you just got to make sure your foam is nice and even because you'll see the shape of it through it. And again, this is just something I like to do when I have uninterfaced something. Come on, nameplate. I don't get to use my matte black very often. I don't sell a lot of matte black. But I have it all. Okay, so I put my nameplate in, and then I'm going to just take my foam and squish it down. Just eyeballed it. Oops. Come on. There we go. You can see it just kind of gives it like a nice little outline there. And then I also put some tape on the back. Okay, so those sewing along with me, I'll give you a couple minutes. Let me know when you are done with this part, and then we will move to the next part. Longer, that should be good. Oh, I should do it a little bigger. All right. I am the only one home. This is so bizarre. It never happens. So besides Coco's random barks, it should be pretty quiet. Brady actually will be home anytime. He was off work at 4, so. my pen go? There it is. Oh no, Kim, what's your technical difficulties? Is it something I can help you with? Give another 2 minutes or so. Need bobbins. I actually just ordered a bunch of bobbins. That's what's arriving today. Most of my bobbins are full. There's this. Let me just. And now everybody knows that my cell phone ringer is the is the theme song to Supernatural. Because I love Supernatural, the show, that much. I'm actually rewatching season 1 right now. It's rather entertaining. Preparing for the Winchester's release in October. I'm excited. Okay, we're going to move on now. So now what we want to do, we want to make sure all of where we have marked top is orientating the right way. And okay, so the one that we have our male snaps on, so this is the one that does not have the turn lock in the middle. We're going to take with our front piece here. So this is where my nameplate is. And we are going to put these right sides together, making sure our tops are together, centered. And we are going to clip around these 3 sides, leaving the bottom open. Kim, do you want to see how I store my, it's sad, my wound bobbins? It's a hot mess. I have them in a magnetic tray, and these are all my bobbins that have thread in them, but you know what? It's magnetic, so they don't go. Oh, look, I got clips on the bottom. Hey, there's that little screw that I lost. That's funny. So yeah, this is how I keep all my wound bobbins in here. It's a big hot mess, but it works for me. But I only have 1 empty bobbin left right now, so I really need that order to come today of my M bobbins. Okay. Yeah, I just got those from Princess Auto. They were like $2 each, those magnetic bowls. The other one, I have 2. And this is the one I store all my presser feet in and my empty bobbins. Because the magnetics, they don't fall if they fall on the floor. They're all in one place. Probably get it at any hardware store. And this is my only empty bobbin, so. What is she barking at now? There's nobody here. Okay, so once you have those clipped together, now you'll take the back one that has your female magnetic snaps that also may have your male side of your turn lock in the center here if you're doing a turn lock. And you're going to take the other piece and clip around all of those sides. Oh, that's funny, Dawn. I have pretty new snips, and I haven't done my mail opening yet, and I apologize, but I opened it up. Lauren Mormino was nice, and she sent me one of her project boxes. She wants me to do a tutorial for her. So these are the snips that she had done. They are so nice. So yeah, I have a Lauren project box here. She sent it to me as a gift. So excited. I'll be doing that tutorial for her in October using her box. I am still planning on doing a mail opening of that box. I just stole the snips out of it because I like them. So, all right, I'm just going to double check my seam allowance. I believe it's 3/8. Where are we? Right sides together. Yes, 3/8. Okay, so we're going to go around those 3 clip sides with a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, leaving the bottom open. That's why it was important that we marked where our tops were. So we'll go over to the machines and we will do that. Oh, I have my love sign up. That's from my tutorial I just finished. I actually remembered to wind my bobbins for class, so I'm actually ahead of the game somewhat here. Oh, you did your box last week, Diane? I wonder if all of the boxes were the same or if some were different. Yeah, I was super touched when she sent it to me. Dawn, Diane is a brand new bag maker, which blows my mind because she already looks like a pro. Diane, how's your Phoenix going? I know you're working on the Phoenix. I loved the Phoenix pattern by Chris W. Designs, like, loved it. So I'm looking at it right now, it's so pretty. Sometimes it's really hard to let things go, but I know I need to sell it because I have my leather purse that I love too, so I don't need more than one purse at a time. Diane is a very, very talented sewist. There's one more. Ooh, I judged that really good. Mistakes happen. I made lots of mistakes when I made that one. On and off. I show most of my mistakes in my tutorials. All right. Let me switch the camera back over. Oopsies. All right, so I'll give it a couple minutes to get that all done. Is this an okay angle? I know it's kind of on a weird angle, but it shows more of the table this way. But if it's a weird angle, please do let me know. It's a different angle than what I use for my tutorial, so. Ooh, maybe somebody will recommend the Phoenix bag for January's bag. That would be cool. We're taking, as most of you know, we're taking December off of classes, but I'm hoping to find time to make some exclusive tutorials just for you guys while I am in Indonesia for 2 weeks. So you still get your money's worth with the memberships if you decide to keep it for that month. They will be a surprise. I'm thinking there will be a whole bunch of little ones that you usually wouldn't see on my channel. And then once I get those done, they'll be exclusive to the member side for 3 weeks. And then I think on, say, Christmas Eve, I may release them to the public side. So I've got 4 in mind that I think would be a lot of fun, and they will be mysteries. So you won't know what they are until they come along, and only members are going to be able to see them for those first 3 weeks. So it'll be 4 mystery tutorials exclusive to you guys for the first couple weeks of December. Aw, Elba, we miss you. I'm glad you stopped in. Make sure you message me if you have any questions about anything, okay? I'm here for you. Even if we have to FaceTime, I can definitely do that for you. Membership hurts because you're my friends. Okay, moving on. So now that we have these all done, oh my goodness, Coco. We are going to trim off these corners kind of on an angle like so, without cutting the stitching we just did, and then just cut a little bit on an angle like so to help reduce that bulk in those corners. But make sure you do not cut your stitching. Does that sound good for December's membership perks if we don't do classes? If I have some surprise tutorials for you guys of some kind of obscure things that we usually wouldn't have. I think it'll be fun. And I promise they'll be useful items. Like, I'm thinking they're going to be tutorials of things that will be useful for you to use in the sewing room for when you're working. So they won't necessarily be bags. Okay, so once you have all 4 of those corners trimmed off, you can go ahead and you can turn these right sides out. I'm just so happy you guys are understanding that I'm taking that month off from classes and still wanting to hold on to your memberships, which helps me so much because it is my income. So I figured a little extra work to do some fun things like that, exclusive for you guys, that can release later to the public side, is a win-win for everybody. Okay, so make sure you poke out those corners really good. You set these corners, that's why we kind of trimmed it down, so we could try to get a nice crisp corner there. That's not too bad. So you'll see it's the front with the male snaps on the back. Okay. Hook up those corners. Okay, how does that look? Corners look okay. I think they look okay. And then what I'm going to do, I mean, if you've used cotton, you can go ahead and press this, but I'm going to roll these seams in between my fingers so they're nice and even, and I am going to secure with clips to prepare for top stitching. I'm sure I'm going to be filming some, well, it won't be live because in Indonesia, because I will not have a data plan for that, but I will be taking video of all of the fabric shops and everything I'll be going to. I'm so excited. I'm scared too because I've never traveled anywhere, but my sister-in-law is a world traveler and she's from Indonesia, and I think she's going to spoil me rotten. She's already talked about spa days and everything, and it's going to be just a fun girl trip, I think. Okay. Ooh, that's a giant one. Oh, I know what those are from. That's from the tutorial that's releasing tonight. Okay, and I'm going to just line up the centers down here because we are going to, I'm a little uneven, that's okay. We're going to baste this opening shut at the bottom. So you can clip it all the way around for both pieces. You don't have to clip this. I always do just because I want to guarantee that it's perfect for me here. I think it'll be fun. I have to reach out to some of the pattern designers for those few things I have to get permission to do them, but I don't foresee there being any problems with what I have in mind. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to baste the bottom shut, and then we are going to top stitch with an 1/8 of an inch. Is it an 1/8 of an inch? Or is it a 1/4 of an inch? Don, help me out. Let me double check. I lied. Okay, it's a 1/4 of an inch. So we're going to baste the bottoms with an 1/8 of an inch, but we're going to top stitch all the way around these with a 1/4 of an inch. So it's slightly different than your usual top stitch. So again, baste the bottom, 1/4 of an inch top stitch all the way around. And you want to make sure that your bobbin thread is just as nice as your top thread because it's going to show through. So I'm just going to test that out. So this is what I have. I always have a bowl full of scraps. This is the same vinyl that I'm using here, and I have it layered 4 layers. So I can test if it's going to be good stitches on both the top and bottom. I always also have one that's only a double layer for the thinner ones, because on my industrial machine, as everybody knows on their industrial machines, that the tension changes depending on your layers. So I'm constantly changing my tension, especially when it's going to show on both sides. That side's good, and I'm golden. Okay, so baste the bottoms, and then go on top. Now mine, first I want to top stitch on the outside because that's where my stitches are always the best. So these magnetic snaps may want to stick to my machine, so I'm going to just be aware of that so I can kind of lift them up as I go. So I'm just starting at the bottom with the baste. When I get to the side, I will go to a 1/4 of an inch to go up the sides. If you have a Titan like me with your standard foot, the edge of the foot on the standard one is pretty close to a 1/4 of an inch, so I never have to, I use that as my guide. Nope, gotta go one more. There we go. So here my magnetic snap is wanting to stick, so I just have my finger under it so I can get past that part. Because I always like to stitch from my right side just because the stitching is usually better. Double check my stitching. We're good. Okay. Yes, Dawn, the snaps hugging the machine may be one of the reasons why she used the spring snaps, but magnetic snaps are a lot easier and to install, and I just find a lot more available. I mean, I have some, but they're not my favorite in the whole world. Yeah, gotta go further. For all of you that were just joining us, Dawn has moved to the head of the class because she has already completed her Daryl's drive because she's a keener. I love it. Which is good because she's also admitting for me and she's experienced with the pattern. So she can help me out a little bit, or if I miss any questions, she should have answers too. And then when I forget my seam allowances, she can tell me what they are. Okay, so that's one done. We'll do the other side. Make sure you put your needle down before you pivot too. Oh, and Ophelia, if you're still there, I don't know if I mentioned, I know you're in Australia, so you're way ahead of us time-wise, but because you're always heading to work, but if you ever need extra help, you can always message me. If I'm awake, I will definitely help you. I don't know how far ahead Australia is from us. I want to say 8 hours, but it's probably more. Alexa, what time is it in Sydney, Australia?
In Sydney, it's 9:57 a.m.
Okay, so it's 9:50. It's 10 a.m. there right now. Quite a bit ahead of us. Okay, thank you, Dawn. Yeah, she'll catch the live and get my message, I guess. Okay, so that's those done. Kim and Diane, let me know when you're done. We will move on in about 5 minutes unless you let me know sooner. Okay. So my stitching looks good on both sides. And I'm just going to match up, make sure that these match up well. And I'm nice and even, which I am. So for those of you who are doing the turn lock, this is where you would measure down 1 1/8 of an inch from this finished edge. You'd measure down centered, and that is where you would punch the hole and install your female side of your turn lock. So pretty much where my nameplate is, except for my nameplate's a little higher than where the turn lock would be. It would be more centered. So from the chop folded edge, you'd measure down 1 1/8 inch and put a mark, and that would be the center of your turn lock hole. And then you would install the female side of your turn lock hole. And then when you put these together, your male side should pop right on through that hole. All right. Does that make sense to everybody that's doing the turn lock? I know it's not really a visual, but are there any questions about that at all? Said we're not going to get the whole exterior done this class. It'll be this class and then probably half of next class. The lining goes together pretty easy, very similar to other bags. All right. All right, Kim? You're good? Okay, I'm just gonna fan. I need a fan. I'm hot. Okay, so next what we're gonna work on are our connectors. Diane, are you doing vinyl connectors like me? I think you were, if I remember correctly. So first we're going to start prepping our connectors. So I've already gone ahead and drawn my center line when we were cutting out our pieces. Remember, we drew the center lines in. So we're going to go ahead, and again, I'm going to use double-sided tape. You can use clips, but we're going to go ahead and take those long ends, and we are going to fold them into the center line for all four. So if you're doing the metal connectors, you will not be doing this part. You'll put the metal connectors on for your straps at the very end. I look funny with my hair up. I never put my hair up. Actually, I do. I have my hair up every day. But I'm just having hot flashes. It'll pass in a moment, and I will be like really, really, I'll be cold then. I have no thermostat anymore. I'm going to go and do my tape on all of them first. So I'm just going to do one of these connectors. The other three connectors will be homework. Oops, got one more. I ran out of tape. I swear, I go through tape like air. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one side with you, and then I will do the other side will be homework. Hey Wanda, better late than never. How are you today? Glad you can make it. Coco says hi, Wanda. Did you hear her? Oh, she's still saying hi. Oh no, she's saying hi to Brady, who just got home. She's gonna start her my boys home howl. You'll hear her here in a moment. Hi, Brady. She gets so excited when everybody gets home. Ooh, Annie retracted a message. Was it a juicy one? All right, so I'm just going to do one with you guys, and then the other ones will be for homework. I'm going to write that down so I don't forget. I got to make myself little notes. Annie is saucy. I love it. You guys crack me up. Connectors. Top panel. Just because it's repeating these steps that we're doing. These are amazing how these are done. So what we want to do is we want to take a marking pen or chalk, and from the sides we want to measure in 1 3/4 inch. I got to make sure I clear, yes, 1 3/4 inch from each side, just a little mark, nice and straight. 1 3/4 inch. That doesn't look very straight. What the heck, Brandy? 1 3/4 inch. Okay, same with the other side. That looks straight. It looks straight. We also want to do it on this other side. And the reason we want to do it on this other side is we want to make sure that it's clearing those magnetic snaps. Once again, not very straight. I must not have did that seam very straight, so I'll just straighten it out here. That's what I did wrong in the tutorial, is I put the placement of my magnetic snaps in wrong. So you want to draw those lines. You will do the same on the other ones. And then what we're going to do, this is so much fun. Hi, Marcianne. All working late. You can always catch up later. You know how to get a hold of me if you need a hand. Okay. So now we're going to take our rectangle ring and our connector, and we're going to put this on like so. And this is the fun part. Where's my tape? I need my bigger tape. So a little bit on the end of each of the wrong sides of these connectors. We are going to put some double-sided tape. I know Dawn's excited about this. She loves this part. Oh, she just said she loves this part. Again, I'm just going to do the one with you guys, the one panel, and then you guys can do the other panel. Okay, so now what we want to do is take the tape off of just one side, put this wrong sides down, line it up with the bottom and that line we just drew on this side, like so. Okay, so this is what we got. Then we're going to flip it around, take the tape off of this side, and we are going to put it down to the bottom like this, lining up with that line that we just drew, like that. And then just kind of feel through to make sure that each side is nice and even with each other, because we are going to go and we are going to, there's two things you can do here. You can either just follow the tips of the top stitching line at that 1/4 inch across here, and then baste on the bottom and then put your rivets inside here. I like the look of a top stitched one, so this is what we're doing. So I'm actually going to go up and then across and back down. So you can decide if you want to do that. In the pattern, it just has you sewing right across here with the connector, and it catches both sides, and then basting it on the bottom and then securing with rivets. I'm going to go up and down and around just because that's my preference. So again, you're putting these on the inside of the line, making sure you are clearing your magnetic snap. I had never done connectors like this ever, and it is amazing. I learned so much from Chris W. Designs. The last couple patterns I've been doing of hers, I just love them. Okay, and down the other side. And kind of feeling to making sure that they are even-ish, especially if you're doing stitching like mine. I think we're pretty even. So now what we're going to do, I'm actually just going to take a couple clips. I'll make sure we're good. Just a couple clips just to hold that top part from flopping around. One clip seems to do it. It is genius, isn't it? Like, so smart. Wish I could come up with this stuff. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we are going to, if you're doing like me, I'm going to stitch up here with 1/8 of an inch across here, matching up with my 1/4 of an inch top stitch, and back down the other side. Or you can just top stitch across there and baste the bottom and then use rivets. Completely up to you. So we will hop on over there. And once again, you want your stitches to be even on both the bobbin side because they will be shown. Another recommendation, if you are on a domestic machine, keep in mind you will be sewing through 2 layers of vinyl and your layer of Decaville Heavy. So if your machine has a hard time with that, then just do that top stitch across the top and the base on the bottom. So this bag was actually written for domestic machines. So, okay, here we go. And I'm going to pivot right about where my top stitching is, so it makes it look like it's somewhat continuous and even. Oh, okay. And because my walking foot is going to go over my hardware here, I'm just going to put a little piece of scrap to protect that hardware to make sure it doesn't scratch it up, and work down. And then do, and you can see top stitching looks pretty good on the opposite side as well. Okay, your magnet may want to stitch your machine. Mine's pulling mine over a little bit. Oh well, it's all good. Right there. Pivot. Pivot. Where did my scrap go? Check the hardware. Mine went off kilter right here a little bit, but do you know what? That's going to get caught in the seam, and then nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to know. So I can see my connector got a little crooked there, but again, it's within that 3/8, so that mistake is going to be hidden, so I'm not going to worry about it. I love these connectors. Oh, you mean what does everybody else think? So again, this one connector was perfection. This one, I was a little bit crooked where it went off, so it kind of went off here. But again, that's within my seam allowance of 3/8. So I'm lucky it's going to cut it off there and nobody's going to know. So yes, so for homework, you will do the same if you're doing these connectors with the other side, as well as install rivets if you want to do them. I just eyeball where I do them, remembering that you're going to have a 3/8 seam here. So I'm doing it about a 1/2 inch down from the stitch line, and then approximately an inch down from that one, I guess, ish. Just make sure it's uniform on both sides. So that'll be homework to do those rivets as well. All right, any questions about that? And then it looks, ow, hit my arm, something like this. I might move my rivet down a little bit more. So, yeah. Is that okay for homework? Everybody understands? And again, if you're doing metal connectors, you don't have to worry about this. Okay, so I'll give everybody 5 minutes or so, unless you let me know to move on sooner. And we have Wanda, so I'll mark Wanda here, and Marcianne. And Ophelia stopped by. Where is Miss? There's Wanda. And for those of us that are joining us late, I did do the monthly draw for August. I did it off camera. I ended up just not feeling up to going live last week. I was just way too tired. But Ms. Braylin won, and so Once again, Braylon, when you watch this, I know you're at work, email me so I can send you your $25 gift card. How's everybody making out there? So this class is pretty much just prepping everything for putting it all together. Another 4 minutes or so. Said I'll try to be more diligent at the end of this month and actually do it live, and at the beginning of the month. I completely forgot to do it. That's totally my bad. I remembered yesterday, so I just did it. All right. Oh my goodness me. Another minute or so. And then we will install our purse feet like she does in the pattern. Everybody's working hard. Come out. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't believe it's already 20 after 5. Time sure does fly. Diane's ready? Okay. So now we want to pull out our bottom that should have our Decaville Heavy on the bottom. And then what we want to do is from one side, or from each of the short sides, we want to draw a line 2.5 inches in. From each side. And 1.5 inches up from each long side. And then while we're here, before we put in those purse feet, we are also going to find the centers of our long sides and our short sides. So I'm just going to fold mine in half to find that center and do a small clip. Snip. And this is for when we go to put the exterior onto this bottom. And then again on these short sides. Holy, my street is so loud today. School's back in, and I live on the same street as an elementary school and a high school. So school, well, I guess it's been out for 2 hours, but... Connectors are completely different. For the snaps, is it 1 5/8 for the side, correct? Kim, that is the exact mistake that I made in the tutorial. I measured it from the stabilizer. It is from the edge of the vinyl, not from the stabilizer. But I made that exact same mistake. And so on mine, I had to put my, on my tutorial one, my straps are much closer together because of that. But I made that exact same mistake when I made the first one. You'll see me do it in the tutorial. Trust me. Okay. So right at this cross section here, that is where you're going to go ahead and install your purse feet. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm just going to do my little slits right at those cross sections. Just showing it, it's a little different way of marking out where to put your purse feet. So I thought it was worth the show. And go ahead and stick them in. Get in there. These matte black ones aren't my favorite. I find the prongs stick together really well. So I just put my prongs through one of the slots. I can't even pick them up. Or through the middle of these ones. And I give them a little bit of a 45-degree turn. I don't know if that makes it so they stay in better, but in my brain it does. Yeah, Kim, I wish I had asked before I did my first bag. Okay, and then go ahead and pull those prongs apart. You're going to see me struggle with it because these matte black ones just don't like... There we go. They take a little work to pull apart. I don't think they're the best quality, to be honest. Not compared to the Emmeline ones. These ones are kind of, eh. Not going to lie, not my favorite. See, it doesn't want to come apart. Come on. It makes me angry. I'm going to try not to cut myself as I try to pry them apart. It's like they get painted together. Has anybody else had this problem with the matte black purse feet? I just don't find that the prongs feel that substantial either. Come on. I usually don't struggle this much. Today has been a struggle. It's all good. Come on. Oh, I'm wrecking my nail, and I didn't really have nails to begin with. Ugh, I do not like these ones at all. Don't watch me. My mother would be killing me right now if she saw what I was doing. Come on. There we go. Not happy with those. I hope Emmeline has some really good quality ones when she gets hers in. Okay, and then once you have those in, go ahead and back them with this. These are the matte black purse feet, Dawn, and I don't really want to say because I don't want to diss the company at all. Most of the hardware from that company were pretty good, but these purse feet just aren't. I said once Emmeline ends up having her matte black in stock, I'm so excited because I can get all my hardware in one place then. But yeah, these purse feet, don't like them. But that could just be me. The screw-on purse feet, I've tried those a little bit too. I've also heard the rivet ones were pretty good, but you need to have a special die for them, I think. I honestly am a purse feet snob. I just really, really like Emmeline Bags purse feet. I just think they are top notch, as is almost all of her hardware. I love it all. So. There we go. So that's the purse feet in. So give everybody a couple minutes to finish that up. Let me know if I need to move on sooner. Oh my, yeah, you definitely don't want them falling off. I mean, these purse feet, you definitely want to be really, really secure, that's for sure. I mean, these ones are secure enough. It was just really hard getting those prongs apart. area here while I wait. I am a creature of habit, and when I find stuff I like, it's what I like to use, and yeah. I'm an Emmeline girl, not gonna lie. Janelle is really good to me. Who likes my Beatles vinyl? Now we need to sing some Beatles songs. What's everybody's favorite Beatles song? My favorite Beatles songs are Because is my absolute favorite, and Something. I love the song Something. Which is funny because my favorite Beatle is Paul McCartney, and I don't believe he sings either of those songs. Something is sung by George Harrison, and Because, well, that's more of a John Lennon, but sung by them all, so. I'll give it another 3 minutes or so. Oh, Kim, I don't want Emmeline in the US. I'm so happy she's in Canada. Her shipping to US, is it okay priced? I know she's pretty fast shipping, but Canadian shipping right now is just unbelievable. My Emmeline orders cost me about $20 or so Canadian to come, and they're just, I mean, if I drove to her, she's only a 9-hour drive from me. You wish Size Swag was in Canada? I think Canada and US should have free trade and a shared postal system. I think that's fair. But with like US postal prices, not Canadian postal prices. Who's with me? Maddie, we're not talking Rolling Stones, but Brown Sugar is a good song. I was raised on Beatles songs. My mom was a huge Beatles fanatic as a teenager, so I love them all. Give another 2 minutes or so. I have some Saya Swag thread. I really like it. One of my subscribers actually sent it to me for my birthday, which I thought was really sweet. Pretty colors, that's for sure. So we're making good time. I think we'll be done what I want to get done today here within the next half hour, which is good. I try to make a class plan. I feel like such a teacher. Give it another minute. I have Wizardry Stitchery, the Unicorn Text 70 or 80, I think, and for some reason my machine struggles with it. I can't get the tension right. Oh, that's a good song too, Don. They're all good. I love Paul. I love them all. Okay, so next we want to take our main exterior panels. These are still uninterfaced. We want to find our top and bottom centers of both of these. So fold in half and do your snips. Again, if I was smart, I would do all my snips when I'm cutting out my fabric, but I never do. You know me. I love that Maddie's listening to this, Nicole. It makes me smile. Okay, so now if you are using directional fabric like me, I like to just lay mine out with the direction it's going to go. So like this. So you can see here my Beatles fabrics are going opposite directions. Okay. So now we're going to do one side at a time. We are going to flip these right sides together like this. Match up that center and clip across. For cotton, you would first interface it with your medium woven interfacing, and it will eventually be also interfaced with foam. That's coming up here. We don't do the foam interfacing until our main panel is completely done. So foam is coming up, but if you're using cotton, make sure you have them all interfaced with a medium woven interfacing like SF101 or EB Fuse Light or Woven Fuse or EB Fuse or whatever it is you use. That's a good song too, Nicole. Okay, so once we have that all clipped along here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to stitch across here with a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Look at my mess here. Okay, and once that's done, we want to, I'm just going to double check, make sure I'm doing it on the right part. Yeah. We want to have it so the seam is going to be facing this bottom piece. So I'm just going to take this and finger press it like so. And you can see how my seam is going towards the bottom. And then we're going to go ahead and on the bottom side here, we're going to go ahead and we are going to top stitch that with an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. And that'll secure that seam in place. And then you're going to go ahead and do the exact same thing with the other side. So I'll take this back to the table to do the other side. Okay, so now I'm going to take it. Again, I'm going to make sure that it's facing up. The direction is going this way and this way. I'm going to take this and put it right sides together and do the same with this opposite side. What am I sticking to? I got to replace the tape on my table. It's sticking to my arms. Still saving for that new table. I will have it one day. The countertop that my brother-in-law had a huge crack down the middle, so now I'm saving for my countertop too. So it'll come eventually. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to go ahead and sew it. Okay, and then once again, you want to fold this and press it so that seam is going towards the bottom. I always find this side's a little bit harder to do. Not sure why. Help that my interfacing lifted up a little bit, but we'll be sewing that in place here. And then top stitch through the bottom again. Cocoa beans, holy moly, girl. Alrighty. Back to the table. So this is what we should have here. You can kind of see how it's going to start forming our bag. This is why you want to make sure your directional fabric is going the right direction. I'll give you a few minutes to finish that off. And we are almost done for the day. Holy, can you guys hear the water bombers outside my window? Okay, yes. Just reminding myself what we need to do. I don't think I'm going to have a long enough piece. I'm going to have to cut more. Yeah. All right, we are almost done for today. There's just one more thing when everybody's ready that I'll show you that needs to be done. And then that's it for this class. Yeah, they're going crazy. I think it's really hazy here. I mean, I think it's from the fire in Hope. I don't think there's any fires around us, but I seriously live like a 3-minute drive from the airport, so yeah. So I honestly think, well, no, there'll be 2 things of homework. I don't think there'll be a homework class next week because homework is seriously going to take 5 minutes. That's it. Okay, so I'm going to move on. There's only one more thing. I'm not going to do it because I actually have to cut a bigger piece of foam. But now that we have this exterior piece all done, the front, bottom, and back all done here, imagine this being a lot bigger. You're going to take your foam and you're going to put this over top of it, and you're going to use this as your template to cut out your foam. Okay? Let me just double check something. Am I forgetting anything, Dawn? Okay, yeah. So once you have your foam all cut out, you're going to clip it around, and you're going to go ahead and you are going to baste it in place with an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. If you have access to a zigzag and you're on a domestic machine, you may want to go ahead and zigzag baste this on just to help compress that foam, because when we go to make this bag, we actually top stitch all these gussets, and the least amount of foam in there, the better. It gets really thick in here. So if you are doing this on a domestic, baste it onto the foam with a zigzag stitch, because that will definitely bring that down, or go around and kind of trim the foam a little bit thinner. So yes, I'm not going to do this part on camera just because I don't have a piece of foam big enough, and to get to my closet where my roll of foam is going to take me a minute because my studio is a hot mess. So that'll be homework, is using this as a template to cut and baste your foam, as well as finishing up the other 3 connectors if you're doing the vinyl connectors. And that's it for homework. So I don't think that we need to have a homework class. Oh, you like my "This is my happy place" sign? All of these signs, I haven't bought any of them. My parents keep thrifting, and then they just show up at my door and come downstairs and hang these signs up. They got me that homemade sign that's behind my door too. I just love it. And then they've been picking me up all of the signs, like this love sign and everything that I'm putting in behind my tutorials. I think they're really, really kind of fun. So, is there any questions about today's class before we call it? Everything makes sense for what we have for homework. Again, homework will take maybe 5 minutes to do. It's super fast. For next class, you will want to make sure you have all of your cotton pieces interfaced with your woven interfacing. If you are doing the zipper pocket with overlay and the slip pocket like I do them, you can do your optional edge coating for those as well. You don't have to do edge coating, but you will want to have that done as well. So we will be finishing assembling this exterior, probably the first hour of next class, and then starting to do the lining stuff, and then putting it together. This bag actually goes together quite easy, I think. Dawn, would you agree that it goes together quite easy? For sure, Kim. I am home. Well, Friday I'm not home. I am going to see some friends out of town. So, but you can message me. I have my phone. I can definitely help if you have any questions, and I'll be home all weekend long. So, I am kind of taking a tutorial break, but I'm not taking a break from any of you. I'm still 100% accessible by all of you. So make sure you send me an email or get me on Facebook or whatever. If you're finding your messages aren't coming through, everybody that's in the classes I feel are my friends. So you can definitely do a friend request to my personal account. I don't mind that at all. I wouldn't want all 8,000 subscribers to be doing that. But our classes, I feel like we are all friends and that we know each other. So if that makes messaging easier, feel free to add me as a friend. Dawn says it's very, very easy. Yeah. It's more, the most time-consuming thing is the prepping of all the pieces like we were doing today. And then once we get it going, it is so fast. So, all right. Any questions? Look how speedy we are getting with these classes. Of course, Kim, I know you got it. But if you do have questions, feel free to reach out, or reach out in the group as well on the Facebook page. It said Dawn has also completed this bag and understands most of it. Actually, she understands all of it. I don't think you even reached out to me at all, did you, Dawn? You're like the pro. You're like the teacher's assistant of the class. I love it. You're my TA. Any other questions, concerns, comments? How are we liking this bag so far? It's a little different than the other ones that we have done, so it's kind of fun. I'm loving it. I'm so tempted to keep, I don't know if I'd keep the Friends or the Beetle ones for myself. You're good, Diane? Perfect. All right, so I think I'm going to call it then. Again, homework is finishing the other 3 connectors if you're doing the vinyl connectors, installing your turn lock if you are installing a turn lock, and basting your main panel onto foam. You are not going to baste your side gussets onto foam. These are just have your fleece. That is all we need for interfacing on these side pieces. Unless they're cotton, then you will have a medium woven interfacing as well as the fleece. Do not put foam on these side pieces, trust me. All right. Well, thank you everybody for coming out for the class today. It was a blast as usual. Time flies so much when we're sewing with friends. I so appreciate each and every one of you. Keep an eye out for the tutorial that's launching tonight in 4 hours and 15 minutes. It will be launching. There is an amazing deal that is attached to that tutorial that you will not want to miss. Can't give any details, I'm not allowed, but I do say it in the intro of that tutorial, so make sure you catch it. The deal is good till the 19th, so that's all. I shouldn't even said that much, but trust me, it is so good, and you won't want to miss it. I'm not saying the tutorial's so good. I'm saying the tutorial that's connected to a deal that I have. Well, it's not from me. It was something that's going on. I can't explain it. You guys will get it when you watch that tutorial, okay? All right. Thank you, everybody. Good night. I'm going to go make supper. Dave should be home anytime. And I will see you guys on Thursday for take 3 if you are making that with us. All right. Good night, everybody.